could all bugger off, and I responded to that, and then was suggested that I was the one who'd suggested it. The guy who came up with that suggestion has not been addressed. I've been addressed and like blamed for his suggestion. What we could bugger off home. I didn't say that though. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat. Oh, I've now been removed from the room, it would seem, right? Is that correct?
Right. We're in the proper place to put on a show. Especially if you're streaming, taking super chats, you're kind of commanding the discussion. This is the proper room for that.
That's just me. That's how I am when I'm in a public room. You don't have to move me anywhere.
That's why I keep telling you, if you're going to come over, just come over to this room. Or better yet, you could book a show with me so I know when you're going to be here and give everyone proper notice.
So for my audience's benefit, when you say I need to be in a neutral platform for you to feel safe and comfortable, the host, where I was in a neutral platform, has now moved me somewhere else. That's what's now happening.
We're trying to able to accommodate the influx.
My audience.
Are you saying there's consequences, Nathan?
Being interrupted by Riggs,
who's being moved. Rest of the afternoon whining about this.
Interrupted.
Yeah,
endless whining.
In this space, so there's now even more interruption. Nevertheless, I've explicitly
That's what
said
you want.
I don't.
I'll stop interrupting your blathering and whining.
Audio chaos.
I thought this was open forum, Nathan. Damn.
No, I don't want to be moved out of the neutral.
Lalo, you don't have to make it worse.
Worse. What the neutral platform was.
You could just resolve it on the gas. You could explain that, because I think you had nearly made sense to me that you're saying it disperses out sideways, right?
I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. Laterally, was the word.
What was
sideways? But I didn't use that word. Just to address you, I didn't say that. Somebody else did.
Oh, okay. How was you describing it? Because
I wouldn't. My answer the first time I was asked that was, "Why would you ask me? I'm a YouTuber." Did you not hear my first response?
Sure. Yeah, because I was having a discussion with that YouTuber about gas pressure, and I just thought you were right about to make a really good point.
Yeah, I made the point that the measurements of gas dispersion at altitude from sea level is a flat Earth prerequisite measurement, proving beyond all doubt that Earth is flat, because that's how it's measured to have this discussion. I was then told, in spite of me describing entropic dispersion of gases produced at ground level, that I hadn't answered some question that was meaningless. I yawned and said it was kind of dweeby and I didn't really care for it. Meanwhile, all the measurements were flat. That's what I've actually done so far. Just to recap what's happened.
I'm so sorry I missed that. Yeah, so you've proven that the Earth's flat because the measurements themselves, in order to need to be taken, in order to discuss elevation, need to be vertical, which is in relation to a horizontal plane, which by default accepts the axiomatic reality that we live on a horizontal plane. Wow.
Yeah, or to put it another way, Earth
it.
is measured flat in all circumstances. In this particular circumstance, to describe dispersion of gases with respect to the plane of reference we call mean sea level, with altitude, that's a flat Earth prerequisite description of a measurement to describe that process. Yes, to summarise, Earth is just measured flat.
Oh, it totally makes sense now. Yes, flat.
Yes, that's measured.
So yeah, I was just curious. You say that the Earth is measured flat. And so where is your have you talked with land surveyors about this? I'm just curious. I'm kind of new to this. So because my understanding is land surveyors take Earth curvature into account once they go over a certain distance.
Right. What is Earth curvature exactly?
They're lying. They're just lying.
This guy told me that we take Earth curvature into account, correct? What's Earth curvature?
I said the land surveyors do.
Yeah, my response. What is Earth curve?
It is the curvature that's due to the shape of the Earth.
How's that measured?
With surveying equipment.
And what do they describe the deviation with respect to?
They reside a tangent line that is from wherever the instrument is placed on the Earth that goes out in a straight horizontal line.
A tangent to what?
The sphere.
That's not a measurement then, is it?
No, it is.
No, tangents are straight. I've asked you where curves measured.
Yes.
You've given me a straight line.
Yeah, so you can measure the curve as a drop from the tangent.
Oh, I see. So it's a drop with respect to a horizontal plane of reference then. So we need a horizontal plane of reference to describe the drop with respect to.
Well, it's only horizontal in that local area where the instrument is touching. As soon as it moves away from that in spot, it starts dropping. I believe it's everybody's favorite approximation of 8 inches per mile squared.
So the mile must be flat and measured to derive this value from then. So a derivative squared function from a flat measurement of miles. So Earth is measured flat with miles for you to infer a tangent plane that isn't a measurement of curve as a derivative from the flat plane we measure in miles.
Yeah, can you imagine like a ball with a ruler balanced on top of it? Is that a horizontal line? Is that ruler a horizontal line?
Called a begging the question fallacy rather than
no, it's not. No, it's not.
I heard your question. Would it be okay if I answered you without you shouting through the top of me that it's not? That's called begging the question. I'd be assuming the outcome. Rather than measuring a curve, you're describing a tangential plane that you're going to measure in flat linear distance values called miles, and then use a squared function from the flat measurement of miles. So Earth is measured flat in miles for you to approximate curve from an assumed plane with a dangling dingleberry Earth that you've assumed is below a plane you're measuring flat in miles. So Earth's measured flat in miles for you to derive the squared function from a linear distance in miles. Earth's measured flat for the miles.
So you're telling me that miles is a unit of measurement thing can only be used when it's flat.
Well, you've just derived a squared function from it. You have just used it flat. You've just described a squared function from it.
No, but
my bad. I'm in the middle of answering you. You've just told me that I'm doing something with miles. You gave, quote, everyone's favorite approximation, 8 inches per mile squared, end quote, you. You use flat Earth measurements of miles, not me. You've done that.
I think you seem to be on this flat Earth measurements thing when no measurements are like flat Earth or sphere Earth. Measurements are just measurements, which is very odd.
Miles of the surface. Those are measurements of miles based on Earth's surface being measured in miles. Therefore, the linear distance I'll say it for the third time, have appealed to for your approximation. Your value is linear miles measured from a flat surface. You attempted to justify this as a plane tangential to a ball, where you begged the question that it was only attached to the flat mile linear distance measurement you're using. So no, you are the one using flat Earth measurements. Linear.
No, I'm not. I'm not using any flat Earth measurements. I'm just using measurements.
You seem to be interrupting me. You don't like that you've used linear distance to have a squared function. You can't square a non-linear mile. You stupid man. Stop talking through me while I tell you about how you are squaring a linear mile. It can't be squared, as you've suggested. Will be used by you when you employ flat Earth mile measurements. To square them. Not square means, it means this distance is linear and flat for you to appeal to it to approximate a calculation of curve when you assume a tangential plane measured in flat Earth miles is capable of having a derivative squared function taken from it. You are using flat Earth mile measurements. I haven't measured or inferred anything. You are the only one who've used a measurement.
Are you done talking?
Yeah. You're the one who's...
Are you done talking? Are you done talking?
No, I'm not done talking. I'm in the middle of a sentence that you can't cope with. You are the one who's...
No, you keep putting words in my mouth. Nathan, I think I need you to calm down. Nathan, I need you to calm down, buddy.
The answer was no.
Nathan, you need to calm down. Nathan, you're getting upset.
To remove you because you obviously can't cope with the fact that you've used these linear distance measurements.
once again, measurements are not flat Earth measurements, and they're not globe Earth measurements. They're just measurements.
Talking through the top of me. No, I haven't finished. You asked if I was finished, pointing out that you are using miles as a linear distance to take
miles is a linear distance.
Fourth interruption to the same statement that you're scared
of. The good news is that linear doesn't have to be flat.
Are you scared to hear it? I'll say it again for the 5th time without interruption. I'll count every time you interrupt this terrifying fact that you've used flat Earth measurements. You cannot square a non-linear mile. You are appealing to a flat Earth measurement of miles. You've then projected that use that you are employing of a flat linear distance of measured flat Earth miles to square a function from them. I haven't measured anything. The only one using flat mile measurements here is you.
You do know that all miles are linear, right? Like it
yes, all miles
is a linear distance.
That's correct. Earth is measured in linear miles.
They can also a mile can also be curved.
Earth curved in miles. They're all linear. They're all flat, or we couldn't square functions with respect to them. That's correct. You are.
When is your groundbreaking paper coming out? You are going to change the world.
Not going to work, sir. You chat skanking to the top of my confirmation that you're measuring Earth flat in linear miles. Yes, I agree. You require flat Earth linear distances for you to pretend you've got curved derivatives from begged questions of tangential planes. You require a linear.
Have you ever heard of a software called Autodesk Civil 3D?
Sorry, I'm not a really adenoidal boring dweeb, but I do know that linear miles will be utilized by dweebs who have a squared function coming from them.
So Autodesk Civil 3D.
Or would you just rather chat skank through every reply after asking about boring?
I mean, you sound kind of skanky yourself.
We need some audio chaos while I respond to you. Do you think we need to hear your voice through the top of mine while you ask about your boring 3D software? Or would you rather skirt with this chaff and redirect attempt?
So I was just curious what your thoughts would be of the civil engineers using Autodesk Civil 3D, which specifically has functions for measuring curvature. They actually have a thing to make sure that you use it so that over long distances.
If you want to listen to my responses, you're talking straight through the middle of them. So I'd prefer not to talk to you anymore.
Listening to Nathan Fucktard Oakley is hilarious.
Just for the record,
what you
I
said
was called a demon. Now I'm being called a swear word and being chatted through the
by definition a straight line of measurement. If it's curved, it's just a path or an arc.
You do realise that all miles are linear, Nathan? Yes, I realise we only ever measure a flat linear mile.
I'll leave you guys
boring dweeby
to enjoy your day. You guys have a good day. I got to go to work.
Linear measurement in miles, though, but we're going to get chat skanking through the top of every word of this conclusion.
I'm sitting here listening to you be an absolute retard. Anyone would mic drop you in a fucking...
I'm not a retard, so what's going on now is...
Seeing your live stream with your little mic set up and your beautiful little background, when you have the IQ of a fucking room temperature, okay?
Right, do you want to just get a hold of your temper there? You seem very angry about the flat
into thinking that their own language is they're using a flat Earth. You don't understand math. You don't understand the carbon position in the sine waves. Prove that you understand how electrons prove this. You guys don't. You haven't walked any of these concepts farther than you can throw something.
You measure Earth flat in linear miles to square a function. That's the last guy who doesn't seem to want to acknowledge the conclusion to his flat measurement in miles to derive the ever popular squared functionality from them in flat miles. We're not getting a conclusion to that. I'm now being asked about electrons and software by a couple of cuck cowards who can't cope.
You want to explain your redundancy issue?
A mile already inherently linear miles being squared.
Linear miles like say wet water.
A flat measurement of Earth in linear distance value, even when you beg the question of a tangential plane. This is the conclusion to the last guy that couldn't quite cope with his own use of linear flat Earth mile measurements.
I'll say it again. You want to contend with the redundancy in your logic, your word salad that's provable?
Right, a mile being linear isn't word
salad. You're a little bit boy, Nathan. You really are. I've never met you before, but the more I hear about you, and now I've who you are, you're a nobody that has nothing to say.
Suggest we can square those linear miles to infer Earth has sphericity.
And I'm mic dropping
you. That's not a claim. That's the guy who spoke to me a moment ago using flat Earth measurements.
From me listening to you talk for an hour,
based on flat Earth linear mile measurements.
You don't contend with what anyone else is saying, and you attempt to gaslight somebody.
I wasn't talking to you, though, was I? I was talking to a different guy. You've taken over, haven't you?
You don't understand your own argument.
Don't tell me I don't understand. I'm reiterating my own
argument. Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
I am now talking to this really.
Hold on, Nathan. I'm modding. Just a second,
tangential planes with squared functions.
Don't have an argument.
Linear miles being the conclusion. Now I'm talking to a different guy that wants to white knight for the guy who
I'm trying to mod real quick to make it easier for you.
Who measured Earth flat.
If you don't have an argument against Nathan, don't just sit and call him names and yell at him. I mean, make an argument and have a back and forth with him.
What he said sounds deep, but a nonlinear mile isn't a thing. A mile, by definition, is a straight line of measurement. If it's curved, it's just a path or an arc. It's not a linear base unit.
It's not curved, though.
It's basic.
The guy who appealed to it in a linear fashion, though, squared it. So it had to be linear and flat. The mile that he appealed to. Now, obviously, if you're saying you don't want to take the measured miles from Earth,
concepts,
don't take them. But if you're going to square them, they're flat. Earth's measured flat in miles.
You're just going to repeat that again?
Earth's measured flat in miles. If you're going to square a mile,
nonlinear mile isn't a thing.
It has to be flat and linear.
Nonlinear mile isn't a thing.
Square it.
It's not.
Now, I didn't appeal to this. I'm not using flat linear distances for them to be capable of being squared. But this guy did when he assumed that we've got a tangential
plane, you repeat that again,
dangling berry of a globe Earth below a single point
IQ I've seen
that's not being measured.
Popularity
what is being measured is a plane with miles. Now, that's surface measurements in miles that are linear, so you can square them. Not me, you.
You think I have to contend with your inability to frame basic logic?
I'll say it again. This isn't basic logic. It's a linear distance measurement appealed by my opponent.
You just said that.
There is no challenge or debate here. He's using flat linear miles and he squared them. They can't be anything other than flat, or he can't square them. I didn't appeal to this. It's not my evidence. The other guy did. He just disappeared the moment it was pointed out he's using flat Earth measurements of linear miles to square them. Now I'm talking to somebody else.
Understood measurement units against him for
Sorry, we just measure Earth flat. It's not that serious, okay?
Well, it's that serious when you spend this much time getting this much attention from people who believe.
Oh, do you not like how much attention I get when I point out to my so-called opponent that he's using flat linear miles so he can square them and infer tangential planes to a single point he's not measuring, and utilization of flat linear distances in miles so we can square them to suggest we've got Earth curve with flat linear mile measurements? That scare you?
It's already inherently linear. Saying linear miles.
Yes, that's right. Earth is inherently measured flat and linear. That you idiots can derive suggestions of squared functionality from those linear measurements of Earth.
Doesn't mean physically taking a stick and bending it into a square, you fucking idiot. It means multiplying value by itself.
Oh, bless. You swear at me and call me an idiot. I didn't make this claim, my friend. You don't need to call me anything. I haven't used flat linear miles for the measurement.
Understand that? No, you don't. You're dumb as a fucking prick.
That's not me being an idiot. I haven't measured this. I haven't utilized it. I haven't used flat linear mile measurement.
Squaring doesn't mean physically taking a stick and bending it into a square. It means multiplying value by itself. If you have a curved coastline that is 10 miles long and a width of 2 miles, the area is still 20 square miles, regardless of the twist and turns.
2 miles would be a linear horizontal distance measurement with respect to Earth's plane Earth.
Not understanding basic math, and you're trying to use
now you're appealing to 2 miles of flat measurements. That got your tongue?
I'm not appealing to anything.
You appeal to mile measurements. I heard you. I'm not deaf. What I then did was should have put it into a graphically rude metaphor. No, I'm here to be civil.
Swear a non-linear mile.
What I then did was
vaporizing you right now. You understand that? This is what it's like vaporize and expose as an idiot drifting.
2 of them specifically. That got your tongue?
I know you want to move the post somewhere random.
Miles are flat. You appeal to miles. That distance is a flat linear measurement. I got your tongue?
I was very specific.
I can't cope with a sentence.
You reframing things into...
I can't cope with a sentence.
Nobody has to contend with that.
Stuttery.
And I know that
You
you're
appealed
used to
to flat
getting
measurements of
attention,
miles. That's what you did,
continuing
you
to move the
stuttery man.
goalpost, not contending with what everyone else says.
I'm not moving any goalposts.
And understanding
Meanwhile,
you're proven wrong
goalposts
on
are
the
measured
statement you made earlier.
perpendicular to a plane of reference with a flat
You're getting
linear
exposed for trying
width.
to not listen to Garrison.
Goalposts. I'm not moving any goalposts. They measured flat also, but you appealed specifically to miles and then denied your flat Earth prerequisite linear distance in miles. You have now started stuttering. That's what you've done.
I mean, you
and then called me names.
Attack my ability to speak, but I explained it very specifically. In math,
You use flat miles.
Doesn't mean physically taking a stick and bending it into a square. It means multiplying a value by itself. So when you're saying he's using flat Earth math, not you, you're retarded. And
I'm not retarded.
You're just not understanding the concept fully.
Squared function. Timesing it by self means a linear distance
very
to be
low
capable
IQ
of being
and
squared.
overconfident in what you
Derive the derivative squared function in a curve. That's what squaring means. If you square 8 inches per mile, then you are utilizing a linear distance in flat miles. That's a fact. You have to like it.
Yeah, and the area is still 20 square miles.
So Earth is measured flat in miles. We measure Earth flat. You measure Earth flat. The guy you're white knighting for measures Earth flat with linear miles.
Nobody's white knighting. You're getting shredded for just being dumb. That's it.
Right? No, that's an ad hom. I'm not getting shredded. Right? I'm pointing out that my opponent, the previous one, used miles linear to square them. This guy used them for a distance value. So he's now using flat Earth prerequisite distance measurements and calling me stupid. I haven't made a single claim yet.
Quote from you: "You cannot square a nonlinear mile."
That's correct. You idiot ball believers can only derive your make-believe curve from flat Earth mile measurements. That's correct.
The response I'm giving you can't even process it. You're dodging it. And trying to
dodging anything. You're the ones that are squaring linear distances that are flat and measured with respect to Earth's surface. They're called miles. You've got 8 inches per the mile squared is your suggestion, and you've got distance in a linear format that you're appealing to. I haven't appealed to anything to be called stupid over, by the way.
Anything. All I'm doing is explaining a concept you didn't understand and try to apply it.
I completely understand linear distance measurement in miles, but telling me I don't is kind of making you feel better. Is this helping you cope?
Doing his best. He's doing his best. Not good enough.
All right, you stuttery man.
Yes,
you are trying to cope by telling me that I am stupid. I'm not. I understand linear distances. You've confirmed them twice. So is the other guy. We can only measure these values linear. Yeah, I know. We can only utilize distance measurements in flat linear miles. We being everyone who ever measures Earth ever. I'm not one of them. I'm not appealing to this to suggest a belief in a curve.
So the twists and turns.
Yeah, Earth's measured flat in linear miles. That's correct.
We have a curved coastline that is 10 miles long and width of 2 miles. The area is still 20 square miles.
Square miles is flat. If you're describing an area of square miles, you are describing an axiomatic principle of flatness for it to be two-dimensional and squared in a mile that's measured linear. So squared miles are a flat Earth-only measurement. I got your tongue? Want to stutter something in reply?
We're not forced to be operating in flat Earth math. Just because
you are. You've just described square miles. That's a prerequisite flat description. It's two-dimensional. It's a square. It's got linear miles as the measurement. Just because you want to believe you're on a ball and simultaneously use these flat prerequisites doesn't mean that it's anything other than a flat measurement you're appealing to. Earth's measured flat in square miles. You're the one appealing to them, not me. I got your tongue? Stuttery response, perhaps? No? Well, let's conclude. Earth is measured flat by both of the opponents who've just been put in front of me. Both of them used flat linear distances in miles. They can only be linear, end quote, them. That's how Earth is measured. Flat.
Can I ask you, do you think if the Earth was a globe, we cannot do that?
The Earth being a globe is derived from flat Earth measurements. On screen now for my audience. The derivation of the equator based on angle measurements of Polaris.
Are you saying that because we use...
Oh my God, I'm answering you. Do you hear me talking, man? Do you hear my voice? That's a question. Do you hear me talking while you start yakking through the top?
Buddy, ease up on the ego.
Shut up while I'm talking. It's quite simple. You might learn something. To suggest you've got sphericity requires you measure Earth flat with things like elevation angle measurements and distances. Your radial value for your belief in a sphere is a linear value in miles, 3959 miles, flat, linear. They're a derivation of an axiom when measuring angles from surface level to lights in the sky. Their minimum, in this case Polaris, forming the equator with an extrapolated value of linear miles at 3959 based on 1 degree of declination of Polaris equaling 69 statute or 60 nautical miles. That convention gives you the flat linear mile distance for your spherical radius derived from a flat linear measurement and flat angle measurement from a flat Earth surface. The globe relies on flat measurements. So if it was a globe, no, we've got a system that's global. It's derived from measuring Earth flat. It then bastardizes the flat Earth measurement and projects a pretty map onto the equatorial planes protractor. The degrees of the glorified protractor known as a globe Earth are marked as latitude degrees around the glorified protractor of Earth, with you only capable of being described within a sphere, as depicted on this diagrammatical example of the extrapolation of azimuth and altitude. Earth is measured flat to create the sphere for people who are given a very cheap state education for free to believe they're on, when mathematically there can only be within a glorified protractor, not on the projection of the map created with flat Earth measurements, one of which is radius, as I just explained. You can call me a demon if you like. This was obviously very painful for a lot of people.
Oh, it's very educational.
But they're
really
using the
enjoyed it.
measurements, Nathan.
Yeah, they keep calling me an idiot when they use flat measurements and I point out how flat their measurements are. Veracity, yeah, you need flat measurements for that too, for you to believe you're on a ball. You need to derive a flat linear radial value in miles based on flat measurements of angles and extrapolations of a system with a convention called nautical miles. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, it is, when you actually realise that, it is quite overwhelming, to tell you the truth.
Oh, we could talk about some boring software. Maybe we could talk about gases spreading out. Shout out to Unitox Femi, says SA1000 curved meters make 1 kilometer. Thanks for the super chat. Any more for any more?
No. When you have a mechanism.
What mechanism for what?
For the gradient.
For the gradient? I've already covered this 5 times. You get a stuck record, right?
No, you understand that the gases are homogeneous throughout the atmo, as it were, right?
You say homogeneous. That's not correct. They're
okay.
Evenly distributed, do you?
Explain my incorrectness, please.
Well, they're inhomogeneous.
So you're saying that the gases, the
values are not equal. Homogeneous would be like layers, evenly distributed. Gas doesn't behave that way. It's inhomogeneous. You're just wrong.
So the oxygen at zero at sea level.
You're not accepting. Okay, so you think we have?
Hold on. Your chat's thinking. 1 second.
Gas in equal quantities when it's homogeneous. It's not. It's inhomogeneous. It's not spread out equally in equal varieties in layers. That's not how gas behaves.
Are you saying that the oxygen isn't 18% at sea level and at 15,000 feet?
That's a flat Earth measurement, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so you are. So you're agreeing with what I said. You're changing your tune. Huh?
No,
I've already said that I couldn't care less about this. It's boring. But what I have said is while somebody yatters through the top of me that's not responding to you, somebody else decided this is too painful. The measurement, the only measurement you've given me so far is altitude. That's the only value you've given me in a measurement. It's a flat Earth measurement that you're using to have this discussion with me. So my response, do you understand that your altitude you've just described to these gases is a flat Earth prerequisite measurement perpendicular to sea level? Do you understand that? Yes or no?
So your response is a question?
Yes. My question is, do you understand that to have this discussion, we require Earth be measured flat? Yes or no?
No.
So you don't accept perpendicular measurements from sea level. Okay. Then I'm done talking to you. You don't accept axiomatic principle appealed to.
Ooh, can I be next? Can I go next?
That's what that feet value
Hold on a
was.
second, Ron.
Now you're denying your own standard that you've appealed to. So I don't want to talk to you anymore. If you're going to say an altitude and then deny it, then don't talk to me. You're an idiot. Now that's me justifying calling this man an idiot. It's like saying, well, we've got 3 miles. Okay, so you accept that we've got 3 flat linear miles. No.
You've contradicted yourself.
Don't use an altitude if you don't want to accept what altitude is. Don't use it.
You've contradicted yourself. That's why you don't want to talk to me.
You've used a flat Earth prerequisite altitude measurement.
Stop talking. You talk too much.
That is altitude. Now you're saying you don't want to accept perpendicular measurements from sea level. Then I don't want to talk to you. Don't deny your own standard that you've used.
You don't want to talk to me because you contradicted yourself.
Yes, because you're an idiot, and I'm justifying why you're an idiot. Don't offer me a value in feet perpendicular. That's what a vector in the upward orientation, that's altitude, is. A perpendicular measurement from sea level. When I asked if you accept it, you said no. Therefore, you're an idiot. Therefore, I don't want to talk to you. Justifiably so.
You've contradicted yourself. That's why.
No, I haven't. I haven't contradicted anything. I haven't made any claims.
Of course you have. You said they're non-homogeneous.
When this man
right?
says he doesn't accept his own value of perpendicular altitude with respect to sea level, and he denies it when he accepts the axiom, he's now telling me I'm contradicting myself. No, you're just projecting your own ineptitude onto me.
Quit chat skanking. Answer my question.
No, I'm describing your contradiction when you deny your own flat Earth prerequisite altitude measurement you were asked about. That's you contradicting yourself and then immediately projecting something that I've made any claims to be contradictory.
Explain how gases can be both homogeneous and non-homogeneous.
You're an idiot. Because you ask me about how gases behave and then deny the existence of gases after asking me. So no, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I denied the existence of gases.
Do you understand? No. When you deny the very thing you've claimed, that's a feet measurement, that's an altitude perpendicular to sea level. When you deny the very thing that you've used in your own claim, I don't want to talk to you anymore, especially when after that contradictory statement out of your lips is projected directly onto me. Now you become an intolerant person to talk to. That's why I don't want to talk to you and why you're justifiably being called an idiot.
Nope, you've contradicted yourself. That's fine.
No, I haven't. Have I measured height of sea level to make a claim about gases? Have I, Al? No, that's what you've done. You're just projecting your own contradiction onto me.
Nope. You don't want to talk because you've contradicted yourself.
I don't want to talk to you. You're an idiot. I made that clear 4 times. I don't want to talk to you because you're an idiot.
That's what someone that contradicted themselves would say.
Like the kind of thing that somebody might say when they describe a perpendicular altitude from sea level and then deny it immediately after when asked about it. That's you contradicting yourself. Stop projecting.
No, the kind of person that would suggest that I say gases don't exist.
Perpendicularity is required to describe an altitude in a vector that's upward for altitudes of gases dispersing then? Or are you contradicting yourself when you deny that which you've used in your own claim?
You're just mad that I spanked your ass last week.
So now I'm being told that I'm getting my ass spanked. So I would ask that somebody who's in charge of this server remove this man who's going around in circles and claiming by projection that I've contradicted myself because he has denied his own claim that uses altitude from sea level.
I was here last week and he did spank you, actually.
All right, so just stepping in here, if there's going to be badgering going on, we're going to have to make a call because we're not going to just accept that. So if you're going to have a good conversation in good faith, great. If you're going to badger, you may end up muted.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for white knighting.
And then deny them because you're going to be called hypocritical. Don't then project that hypocrisy onto me.
I just have a question. Nathan can badger. We just can't.
It's his show. He's the most important
guy
in the world.
That which has occurred onto me. I haven't made a single claim for my audience's benefit. I'm not making any claims. What I've heard
you did make a claim earlier.
with respect to sea level that have then been denied. And now we've gone round in circles about 6 times with the exact same thing, with me being called names. That's what's happening. I'm not badgering anybody. I'm reiterating that flat Earth measurement that he used and then denied and then called me contradictory as a consequence of his projection.
Is the Earth flat or is it just measured flat?
Being flat is how you would measure it. If it was flat, you can measure it flat. Yeah. We do measure it flat, therefore it is flat.
But is it flat, though? Is it flat?
Yes, that's how we measure it in linear miles like the other two.
No, I know that's how you measure the Earth. I'm not asking how you measure it. Is the Earth flat?
Perpendicular to sea level. That's how it is measured.
I agree. Well, you can have that. So you can have that. Hold on. Let me finish, please. You're interrupting me now. Let me finish now. Let me finish now. No, okay, I agree. You can have that. You can say that it's measured flat, but does that make the Earth flat? Is the Earth flat then?
To me are the ones that have appealed to these linear distances.
So no one's going to make him answer questions. He can just say things that never have to answer nobody's questions too. But we can't badger him. This is why he gets badgered, because he won't answer questions and he talks over you and mutes you and talks to his crowd on YouTube. Well, we know you don't, and we know you can't though. It's not that you don't; you can't do anything because you have nothing.
Exactly as I damn well.
Didn't you just say that you yourself are just a YouTuber? Why should anybody believe you? You're just a YouTuber out of your own admission. Your own admission. Now he's gonna talk over me. After he talks over, he gets mad for people talking over him, and yet he talks over everybody. You are a clown, dude. Listen, you're a YouTuber. You're a self-admitted YouTuber. You have no expertise in anything. You are a YouTuber. You know nothing.
Change how miles measured. Me being a YouTuber doesn't change how my
it does. You said you don't know anything. You hide behind that. When it comes time to prove your point, you hide behind
that. From linear distances. Why would I need to know anything when my opponents come to me?
Exactly. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. You self-admitted it. You self-admitted it. You said, I'm just a YouTuber, so why would I know anything? You don't. So basically what you're saying is you're just lying to people on the internet for drifting. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, you are. Claim to me use linear flat Earth mile measurements.
There's no such thing as a linear flat Earth mile measurement. There's no such thing as a linear.
I'm being accused of being a liar.
Yeah, you are a liar. You are lying about everything, and there's no.
I hope that's somebody from the server muting this person.
Yeah, I've had to mute you, Rob. Yeah, Rob, if you're just going to sit there and call him a liar, that's not what this show's about. The show is about the claims that are being made and addressing those points. Don't just ad hom, please.
Exactly. So when somebody comes along and says, well, I can derive curve from a flat mile tangential plane with an assumed sphere dangling below it, and then when I derive the automatically assumed to be in existence at a tangential point ball below a flat plane that'll measure with flat linear miles, that's not me needing to know anything. That's my so-called opponents measuring Earth flat.
I mean, Rob measured it flat using azimuth last week.
Yeah, that's a different example. So azimuth would be the horizontality from north that you can ascribe directions like south, east, and west from in a degree. That's a flat Earth prerequisite horizontal measurement or directionality called azimuth. I don't appeal to these things. My opponents bring them. Everyone.
I mean, I think it's really interesting, Nick. I'm just listening to you and the guys talking, and I'm keeping track of the conversations, and it does appear to me the guys who sort of appealing to that they live on a globe are giving you some measurements for that, which has got nothing to do with measuring a globe, like you pointed out. They will require linear, horizontal, flat measurements. You've not claimed anything. They're giving you flat Earth measurements to then try and describe that this is their measurements of a curved Earth.
One deck. Really miles are described linear, one deck.
No, they're not. Oh, I'm unmuted. Sorry.
How much do they deviate? Want to give me a value and tell me what they're deviating from, please?
You wouldn't know anyways. You're just a YouTuber.
So you're the one who made the claim. So I'm asking the person, the claimant, you in this instance, what the derivative is from. What are they deviating from? If you say miles bend, what are they bending with respect to? And what rate are they bending at? I'm asking you, the one who's made the claim. You don't know, do you? You haven't got a word to back up anything you've just said. So you've just thrown out a baseless assertion and projected it onto me like I've got to justify anything. You're making a claim.
You're making the claims. You're making the claims. Your whole channel is a claim that the Earth is flat. You are making the claim. Your whole channel, your whole life is based on a claim. Don't ever say we're making the claim. You're making the claim.
What claim did I make?
The Earth is flat. That it's measured flat. It's not.
Yeah, that wasn't a claim I made. That was somebody on the panel deriving curvature.
Your whole life is a claim. Stop saying that you can't make. You make claims. Your whole life is a claim.
Responding to him, he's told me incorrectly that I've made a claim.
Knock it off, Rob.
Do you want to knock it off? Just get a grip there, Rob. It's okay. It's going to be over.
This is what you want. This is what you want for your little clips.
I didn't want anything. I didn't derive.
That's why you're back here. That's why you're back here, because your clips did good on YouTube. And as much as you hate to admit it, you know you got to come back here and do the shows. You got to put the work in. You want to make the money, you got to put the work in. You want to grift, you have to work for it.
Being filibustered. Our responses aren't being heard because you're talking straight through them, Rob. I haven't claimed anything. Your compadres.
You claim the Earth is flat. You claim the Earth is measured flat.
Can you help me, moderator? It seems like I'm not being tolerated to explain that which has been put at my doorstep that I've made claims. No, I haven't claimed Earth is flat. The people who are this man's compadre have derived flat measurements.
You just told me 5 minutes ago it was flat. Now you're not claiming it. You are talking out of
same rendition. Fifth time. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is these people are absolutely terrified of the words that come out of my mouth, so much so that they must mute me in the middle of saying them. So what Rob is now doing is utilising, now my own panel's doing it in the middle of this sentence, now Neil's doing it. He's talking straight through the middle. Like, what I say isn't true.
Keep going. They're dropping out, quitting and everything.
I haven't made any claims that require miles be linear to square a function from them. That's not my claim. I didn't claim flat linear miles to derive squared function from. That's what the ball believers have done, not me. They're the ones using flat Earth. They need it to be flat for the miles they're using.
Wow.
You are just a YouTuber, but we are Discorders, says Unitox Femu.
I just wanted to say that they're the ones bringing the 8 inches per mile squared into the conversation.
Exactly, Neil. They're the ones that need Earth to be measured flat. I'm being told I'm making that. No, I didn't appeal to flat Earth only linear mile measurements. I didn't do that. I pointed out to the person that was using them how they couldn't be squared unless they were linear. And then some other guy started piping up and talking about distances and altitudes instead of the guy who appealed to it originally conceding how flat he was measuring Earth. Now I'm being told that's my claim. No, that's definitely not my claim. You need a flat Earth. You're the ones appealing to it.
Wow. This is amazing how you're doing this, Nathan.
I try to stay calm. I just can't do it, dude. I want answers, and this guy won't give anybody answers. What's the point? You say you want a conversation, talk about the topics, but then when we talk about it, we don't get answers. So that's why we have to attack the character. We have to attack what he's doing, because that's the real story behind it. Because he just told you. He said he didn't make a claim, and yet 5 minutes ago, he told you the Earth is flat. If you can't follow this guy for 5 minutes and realize that he's fibbing, he's not being honest, then something might be wrong with your mental capacity in your brain.
I've heard what you've said. Would it be tolerable to get a response without you interrupting in the middle of it, like I allowed you to do then? Is that okay, Rob, if I respond to what you've just said? I'm being told that I'm the one lying. No, it's recorded and live streamed. I definitely responded to 2 people suggesting that they could infer sphericity based on their own use of flat linear mile measurements of Earth. Now, I haven't appealed to them. That's not my claim. I didn't make any claims. Earth is measured flat. That's not a claim. That's an undisputable fact backed up by the people who were making claims.
No, it's not.
Sphericity that they're claiming by deriving their sphericity from the axiomatically flat fact that I pointed out. Not a claim. Miles aren't my claim. I'm not using them for
miles ain't flat. We already proved to you. Miles are not flat.
Square them after measuring Earth flat for them. That's what you are doing. Simple.
Again, so this is why I call you a liar, because miles aren't flat. We proved it to you. No one on Earth says miles are flat except Nathan Oakley. That's it. You're the only person, a YouTuber. A YouTuber with no expertise, no science degrees. You've never done any experiments. Who do you think you are, though? Ego. The guy said earlier, your ego will not let you eat crow. Eat the crow.
When this man says, I'm the one lying, no, I haven't appealed to anything. I'm not the arbiter of miles, and I'm certainly not the one that needs them to be flat and linear to square.
Who says miles are flat, Nathan Oakley? Who says that? Who says miles are flat?
What I'm saying isn't being heard by Discord because it's being rumpused by Rob.
Oh, stop it. You're a rumpusser, dude. Who measures miles flat?
It's an audience.
Who measures miles flat? I don't grandstand all you want. You're such a victim. I know. You're the victim. You're the victim. I know.
Flat Earth miles or their claim that Earth's a sphere. The facts in the matter are flat Earth miles. That's what's being
well, we observe it to be a globe. How about that? We observe it to be a globe.
Will be used in 8 inches per mile.
Observing it is a lot better than taking your fake measurement. We observe it.
Measurement is the mile. It's flat. I wasn't the one appealing to it.
No, it's not. No one says that. You still can answer. Who says miles are flat?
The two guys that were before me both said it. One used distance, 2 miles.
Who says miles are flat?
8 inches per mile squared. It must be linear and flat and measured with respect to Earth in order for you to infer that your calculation has any validity. When you claim Earth has curvature because you can derive it from flat Earth measurements. So when Rob says I'm lying, who says
you know
that?
What? Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Oakley is like the last white rhino. He's one of the last flat earthers you're ever going to see because they're going
flat miles. Again, what I've said wasn't heard by the Discord server, but can be heard by my audience as Rob filibusters through the top of the devastating facts in the matter that he's lying about me. Rob is actually lying about me, saying that I'm the one who's made this claim, when it is ipso facto 2 ball-believing clowns that have used flat Earth measurements, one for a distance and altitude perpendicular to a plane at sea level, and one for a squared function. That's 2 clowns making claims using actual measurements of Earth's surface in miles. These facts aren't being heard by Discord because Rob's just interrupting them every time I say them. Cowards. Any more? If not, I'll just conclude. Excellent. With that, I'll say Earth is measured flat by everyone who ever appeals to any Earth measurement ever. There are no exceptions. To create a ball to back calculate that ball into existence, you require Earth be measured flat. To extrapolate the suggestion of tangential planes with respect to linear mile measurements with squared functionality derived from them as an average, you require Earth be measured flat. What I will say, however, is if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, hit me up on PayPal and Patreon and all that good stuff. If you are in the position to support me financially, that is to say the means to do so, hit the Ko-Fi link and actually support this channel, as that's how I survive and keep the lights on to absolutely devastate ballers with their own use of flat Earth measurements. So hit me up via the Ko-Fi link if you have the means to do so. If you don't, please share via one of the shorts videos where I trim out sections like the ones you've just heard into 3-minute easily digestible videos. So if you don't have the means to support me via the Ko-Fi link, then share one of my shorts videos. I've been Nathan Oakley. Another massive thank you to Worldwide Debates for having us and my Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley and I will see you all in the next video.
When you measure it flat, it contradicts that. Ooh, you're getting flat smacked and then.
Right, I guess that's the end of the show then. Feel free to hop into the other channel if you want to talk about general discussion.